There is a moment many of us know well. You catch your reflection in the mirror, and for a second, you pause. Your makeup is right, your outfit feels like you, but something about your hair looks tired. It is not that you feel tired. In fact, you feel vibrant inside. Yet your hair seems to tell a different story, one where the lift is gone and the energy is missing. Hair has a quiet power. It frames the way the world sees us and the way we see ourselves. When it falls flat, it can make our eyes look less bright and our features less defined. But when it has volume in the right places, something shifts. Your face opens up, your cheekbones seem higher, and there is a lightness that makes you feel more like yourself. Welcome to Golden Elder Days, where beauty grows deeper with time and wisdom walks hand in hand with style. Today I want to share a simple truth with you. Volume is not about chasing youth, it is about unlocking the vitality you already have. There is one technique, simple enough to do at home, yet trusted by stylists, that can bring instant life back to your hair. It works no matter your length or texture, and it can be as subtle or as full as you want it to be. We will explore not only how to do it, but why it works. I will share professional secrets that you can adapt for your daily routine, along with small changes that make a big difference over time. You might even find yourself smiling at your reflection before the day begins. Before we start, I would love to hear from you. Tell me your age, where you are watching from, or share a personal hair story. And while you are here, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what we explore next. Okay, now let's start the video. Number 1. Why volume changes everything after 50. There is a quiet shift that happens to our hair as the years go by. The strands that once felt abundant and springy can become finer, the overall density a little less than before. The texture may change too, sometimes becoming drier or more fragile. These changes are natural. They are part of the beautiful evolution of our bodies. But they can also leave our hair looking flatter than it once did. What many women do not realize is how much volume can change the way the face is perceived. A little lift at the crown can create the illusion of higher cheekbones. Soft fullness around the sides can balance the features and draw attention to the eyes. Even the simplest styles take on a new energy when there is movement and body in the hair. Volume is not just about adding height. It is about restoring a sense of vibrancy and harmony to the way your face is framed. I once met a woman named Elaine at a community event. She was 62, graceful and warm, but she carried herself in a way that suggested she did not want to be noticed. Her hair was cut beautifully, yet it sat close to her head with no lift at all. She told me she had given up on styling years ago because it felt like nothing made a difference. One afternoon, during a simple makeover session, a stylist added a touch of volume at her roots and gently curled the ends away from her face. It took less than 15 minutes. When Elaine saw herself in the mirror, she gasped and then began to smile. She looked exactly like herself, only lighter, brighter, more open. That small change was enough to remind her that beauty is not left behind with time. The truth is, volume draws the eye upward. It signals energy, confidence, and vitality without saying a word. It can make you appear more awake, more engaged, even more youthful, and it does not require dramatic styling or hours in front of the mirror. What it does require is understanding where to place it and how to work with your hair's natural tendencies. This is why I believe that volume, even in the smallest dose, is one of the most powerful tools for women over 50. It is not about hiding who you are. It is about letting your spirit show through more clearly, framed by hair that reflects the life still moving beautifully within you. Number 2. Understanding the volume trick. The volume trick is not a complicated technique, yet it can completely transform how your hair frames your face. At its heart, it is about creating strategic lift in the right places, most often at the crown and just above the temples. These areas have a powerful influence on the way our features are perceived. A little elevation here draws the eye upward, giving the impression of a lifted, more open expression. Think of it as adjusting the collar on a beautifully tailored blouse. If the collar is flat and limp, the whole garment can look a little lifeless. But turn it up gently or add a bit of shape, and suddenly the entire outfit feels more polished, more intentional. Hair volume works in exactly the same way. It is not just about the hair itself, but about how it interacts with the lines and planes of your face. When volume is added at the crown, it elongates the overall silhouette. This is especially flattering for round or softer face shapes, as it adds a sense of vertical balance. For those with longer faces, a touch of lift paired with soft volume at the sides can create harmony by adding gentle width. Around the temples, volume has another gift. It helps open the upper face, brightening the eyes, and giving a subtle impression of youthfulness, as though you have just returned from a refreshing walk in the spring air. The trick also plays with light and shadow. Hair that sits completely flat can sometimes cast shadows downward, especially around the eyes and jawline. A little lift changes the angles so light bounces across the face instead. This can soften fine lines and highlight the natural glow of your skin. It is a shift so subtle that most people cannot pinpoint what has changed, but they will notice you look somehow more alive, more yourself. One of the reasons this approach works so well for women over 50 is that it respects the natural changes in our hair while enhancing its beauty. We are not forcing it into shapes that fight against its texture. Instead, we are coaxing it into a form that flatters both the hair and the face. Even on days when you do not feel like styling, a few minutes of lift in these key spots can make all the difference. It is worth noting that the volume trick is not about big, exaggerated styles. It is not about recreating the towering bouffants of decades past, unless that happens to be your joy. The most beautiful results come from finding the point where the hair looks full yet natural, lively yet effortless. The magic is in the proportion. Just as a well-placed necklace draws the eye to the collarbone, the right touch of volume draws the eye exactly where you want it, enhancing your presence without overwhelming it. Once you understand this principle, the possibilities open up. You can use it on short hair to create a pixie that feels playful and fresh. You can use it on a bob to give it extra swing and dimension. You can even adapt it to longer styles, allowing layers to catch the air and create gentle movement. Whatever your length or texture, the volume trick is a timeless tool for bringing your look to life. Number 3. The role of haircut and layers. A good haircut is the foundation of effortless volume. You can tease, curl, and style all you want, but if the cut is working against you, the lift will fade before you even leave the house. Certain cuts are designed to encourage volume naturally, letting your hair fall in a way that feels full without constant upkeep. The right shape can do half the work for you before you even pick up a brush. Layers play a key role in this. When placed thoughtfully, they remove just enough weight so the hair can spring upward rather than hang flat. For women with fine hair, too many layers can take away the density you want to keep. In that case, gentle face framing layers or subtle layering at the crown can be enough to give movement without thinning the ends. For thicker hair, layers can be more generous, reducing heaviness and allowing the hair to lift away from the scalp. Face shape matters here as well. If your face is round, layers that start higher on the crown can add vertical height, giving the illusion of a longer, more balanced shape. For a square jawline, soft, cascading layers help break up strong lines and add a gentle curve around the face. A heart-shaped face benefits from layers that add fullness near the jaw and chin, bringing visual balance to a narrower, lower face. And if your face is long, layers placed closer to the cheekbones can add width where you want it most. Short hair can be a wonderful playground for volume. A textured pixie with slightly longer layers on top can be styled in minutes, yet still look lively and youthful. The hair almost lifts itself, thanks to the built-in structure. For medium hair, a layered bob offers both swing and fullness. The layers keep the shape light, allowing the ends to move instead of sitting heavily against the neck. Long hair can have volume too, as long as the layers are carefully placed. Long layers that start around the collarbone and work downward keep the weight distributed, so the hair does not drag flat against the head. A well-cut style also adapts to the natural texture of your hair. If you have waves, layers can encourage them to form and hold their shape. If your hair is straight, the right cut can still add dimension by letting the strands fall in varied lengths that catch the light differently. It is about working with what your hair naturally wants to do, not forcing it into a style that resists. When haircut and layering work together, volume becomes less of a daily battle and more of a natural feature. You can wake up, run your fingers through your hair, and find that it already has life and shape. That is the beauty of a cut designed with you in mind. It is not just about trends or rules, it is about creating a shape that feels as though it belongs to you, lifting your look and your spirit every single day. Number 4. Styling tools and techniques. Volume is not only created in the salon chair. Much of it happens in the quiet moments of your own routine, when the tools in your hands and the direction of your brush make all the difference. Blow drying, for example, is far more than simply getting your hair dry. The angle at which you guide the air can lift the roots and shape the strands before they even cool. For maximum lift, start by flipping your head forward and letting gravity help you. Use the dryer to aim airflow from root to tip, keeping the nozzle close but never pressed against the hair. Once the roots are about 80% dry, flip your head back and continue drying while lifting sections with a round brush. This sets the shape and ensures the lift lasts through the day. Choosing the right brush matters. For mature hair, which can be more delicate, a ceramic or boar bristle round brush is a gentle yet effective choice. Ceramic barrels help distribute heat evenly, which speeds up styling without overexposing any one spot. Boar bristles smooth the cuticle, adding shine while reducing frizz. If your hair is fine, a smaller barrel can create more curl and bounce at the root. For thicker hair, a larger barrel helps smooth and control volume, so it does not become too puffy. Heat tools beyond the blow dryer can also play a role, but with care. A volumizing hot air brush is a wonderful option because it combines drying and shaping in one step. It is gentler than a flat iron and allows you to lift the hair from the root while polishing the ends. If you do use a curling iron or wand, focus on the mid-lengths rather than the ends. Wrapping hair loosely around the barrel for just a few seconds can give movement without overexposing your strands to heat. For those who want volume without teasing, there are soft and damage-free options. One simple method is using self-grip rollers at the crown. Place them in while the hair is still warm from blow drying. Then let them cool completely before removing. The lift will hold without any back combing. Another trick is root clipping while your hair air dries. By placing small clips near the scalp to lift sections, you encourage volume to set naturally. Once dry, remove the clips and lightly shape with your fingers. Products can support these techniques, but they should never weigh the hair down. A lightweight root-lifting spray or mousse applied before drying can give structure without stiffness. Look for formulas designed for fine or aging hair, as they are usually lighter and more flexible. A touch of texturizing spray at the crown after styling can also keep the look fresh throughout the day. The key is to think of styling as setting the stage, rather than forcing a performance. When you work with your hair's natural tendencies, lifting gently instead of pulling or pressing, the result is volume that feels soft to the touch and moves with you. Every time you run your fingers through it, it still has life. And, perhaps most importantly, it does not require you to fight with your hair each morning. It is a quiet collaboration between you, your tools, and your technique, creating a style that stays full and flattering with ease. Number 5. Products that support the trick. The right products can make the volume trick effortless, but the wrong ones can undo all your work before you even leave the house. For most women over 50, the goal is lift without stiffness and fullness without that heavy, coated feeling. That is why the starting point is almost always a lightweight volumizing mousse or foam. A good mousse expands the hair shaft slightly, giving it the strength to hold shape while keeping the finish soft. Look for formulas labeled as weightless or designed for fine or aging hair, as these tend to be gentler and more flexible. Root lifting sprays are another quiet hero. They are designed to target the first inch or two of hair from the scalp, where volume matters most. A few short bursts at the crown and along the part can give just enough structure for your style to last all day. If you have thinning areas, applying at the root rather than the length prevents the ends from becoming stiff or crunchy. Texturizing sprays can add body without making the hair look overly styled. These work especially well on days when you want a looser, more casual look, but still need that gentle lift to frame the face. They add a soft grit that helps hair hold its shape, almost like giving it a bit of memory. What to avoid is just as important. Heavy creams, serums, or oils might feel silky in the moment, but they can flatten the crown within hours. While these have their place for smoothing ends or taming frizz, they are best kept away from the root area if you want volume. Even conditioners should be applied mid-length to ends only, leaving the scalp area free so it can stay light and airy. For even distribution, timing and placement are key. Apply mousse to damp hair, working from the crown forward, and use a wide tooth comb to spread it evenly from root to mid-length. Sprays should be applied in short bursts rather than long streams, with the nozzle kept a few inches away from the scalp to prevent oversaturation. This ensures you get lift without that weighed-down feeling that can happen when product sits too heavily in one spot. Think of these products as subtle stagehands in your daily performance. They are there to quietly support the volume you create with your cut and technique, never stealing the show. When chosen wisely and applied with intention, they disappear into the hair, leaving nothing but movement, shape, and that softly lifted look that makes your whole face feel more open and alive. If you have any questions, please comment below. Now, let's move on to the next part. Number 6. Healthy hair foundation. Lasting volume begins long before you pick up a brush or a blow dryer. It starts with the health of the hair itself, which is shaped every day by what you eat, how you care for it, and the condition of your scalp. Strong, full hair is not just the result of clever styling, it is the reflection of a healthy foundation. Nutrition plays a quiet but powerful role. Hair is made primarily of protein, so including lean sources like fish, eggs, and legumes in your diet can support its structure. Omega-3 fatty acids from salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds keep the strands supple, while vitamins like biotin, vitamin D, and B12 help with growth and density. Hydration matters too. Even mild dehydration can make hair look dull and lifeless. Drinking enough water throughout the day keeps both your scalp and strands more resilient. Gentle cleansing is the next step. Overwashing can strip away the natural oils that protect and give flexibility to the hair, while using the wrong products can leave a heavy buildup that flattens volume. Choose shampoos labeled as lightweight or volumizing, and follow with a conditioner applied only from mid-length to ends. This keeps the roots free to lift without being weighed down. Scalp health is often overlooked, yet it directly affects how hair grows and behaves. A healthy scalp has good circulation, balanced oil production, and no buildup that could suffocate new growth. Gentle massage with your fingertips while shampooing can encourage blood flow, while occasional use of a clarifying shampoo can remove residue that dulls the hair. If your scalp feels dry or itchy, a light, water-based treatment can restore comfort without leaving residue. When you give your hair the right nutrition, hydration, and care, it becomes naturally more responsive to styling. Volume lasts longer, lift feels effortless, and the strands move with a softness that cannot be faked. The best styles are built on this kind of foundation, where every strand supports the beauty you want to see in the mirror. Number 7. Quick everyday version versus special occasion version. There is beauty in knowing how to shift your look with ease. Most days, we simply want our hair to feel alive, fresh, and effortlessly flattering. But there are also moments when a little extra polish feels just right, like a quiet celebration of ourselves. Learning both the quick everyday version and the special occasion version of the volume trick means you can move gracefully between the two without stress or guesswork. The everyday version is built for mornings when time feels short. Begin by applying a lightweight volumizing spray or mousse to damp roots, focusing on the crown and sides. Then blow dry with your head tilted forward, using a round brush to lift the roots and guide the hair back. 5 minutes is enough to give your style a soft, airy lift that frames your face and opens your features. The goal here is not perfection, but vitality. Hair should look touchable, as if it simply woke up that way, yet with just enough structure to hold its shape throughout the day. The special occasion version uses the same foundation but adds refinement. After creating your everyday lift, introduce subtle curls or waves, using either a curling iron or hot rollers on low heat. Focus on the mid-lengths for movement that looks natural but intentional. Allow the curls to cool, then gently brush through for a soft blended finish. A mist of lightweight hairspray will set the look without stiffness, so hair still moves freely when you turn your head. The effect is a little more polished, a little more luminous, yet still undeniably you. Both versions share one important quality. They never overpower the woman wearing them. Instead, they serve as a frame for your face, your smile, your presence. Whether you are heading to the grocery store or to a dinner where candles catch the light in your hair, the volume feels like an extension of your confidence. You are not trying to be someone else. You are simply showing the best of who you already are. With practice, these routines become second nature, allowing you to step into any setting with quiet certainty. You know exactly how to create the lift you want, when you want it, in a way that feels graceful and entirely your own. Number 8. Common mistakes to avoid. Even the best styling techniques can lose their magic if a few common missteps creep in. The first is relying too heavily on hairspray or dense products. While it may seem like more hold will mean longer-lasting lift, the truth is that too much can weigh the hair down and leave it feeling stiff. Volume should move when you move, not stay frozen in place. Think of product as seasoning in a recipe, just enough to bring out the flavor, never so much that it overpowers. Another pitfall is placing volume in the wrong spot. Lift that is too far forward can create an unbalanced look, almost like the hair is leading the way instead of your smile. Too far back, and it can flatten the front of the face, which is exactly where we want openness and light. The sweet spot is usually at the crown and slightly toward the top center, enough to lift the eyes and balance your features without looking artificial. A third mistake is copying a style without adjusting for your own hair texture. What works for someone with thick, naturally wavy hair will not behave the same way on fine, straight hair, and vice versa. Each texture has its own personality. The trick is to work with it, not against it. Adapt the method to your hair's natural tendencies. Whether that means using a lighter brushstroke, a different heat setting, or a gentler product. Avoiding these simple errors keeps your volume looking effortless and elegant. The goal is never just to have more hair in the air, but to frame your face in a way that feels alive, soft, and entirely your own. Number 9. Real-life transformations. Sometimes the most convincing proof does not come from theory or technique, but from seeing the change with your own eyes. Take Ellen, 62, who had worn her hair in a flat chin-length cut for years. She always described her style as safe, but in truth it did little to reflect the warmth and spark she carried in her personality. After learning the volume trick, her stylist added gentle lift at the crown and a soft curve near her temples. The first time she caught her reflection, she smiled and said she looked like she had just returned from a long, happy vacation. It was not about looking different, but about looking like herself again. Then there is Marisol, 57, who had fine hair she believed could never hold volume. She was hesitant at first, convinced that any effort would fall flat by midday. With a few strategic layers and the right root-lifting technique, her hair suddenly framed her face with a lightness that stayed through the evening. At a family gathering, her niece leaned over and whispered that she looked radiant. Marisol told me later it was the first time in years she had gone an entire day without tucking her hair behind her ears in frustration. And finally, Diane, 68, who had let her hair grow longer but often felt it dragged her features down. She had considered a shorter cut but decided to try the volume trick first. Her stylist worked subtle height into the upper layers, allowing her hair to move without losing shape. When she saw the result, she laughed softly and said she finally understood why people called hair our best accessory. It was still her long hair, but lighter, more graceful, and with a quiet energy that matched the way she wanted to feel each day. These women did not walk out with entirely new haircuts or colors. What they gained was a lift in more ways than one, a reminder that small changes can shift how we see ourselves and how the world sees us. Sometimes, a little volume is all it takes to let the light back in. As we come to the heart of this journey, it is worth pausing to remember what volume truly gives us. Yes, it lifts the hair, frames the face, and softens the features, but it also carries something less visible. It has the power to refresh the way we see ourselves, to replace that small sigh in the mirror with a quiet smile. The right touch of lift at the crown or around the temples can act like gentle light on a beloved painting, revealing depth and beauty that was always there. Throughout our time together, we have explored how volume works with your haircut, how it can be shaped with layers, encouraged by tools, supported with the right products, and protected through healthy hair habits. We have seen how it can be adapted to your mornings or elevated for a special occasion, and how avoiding a few common mistakes can make all the difference. We have walked alongside women who found their confidence renewed simply by giving their hair a little more life. The truth is, this is not about chasing a younger version of yourself. It is about stepping into the present with the grace and vitality that already belong to you. Hair volume is simply a tool, a subtle yet powerful one, that lets your natural beauty take center stage. You are not hiding age, you are embracing it, showing the world that beauty does not fade with time. It shifts, it deepens, and it becomes more your own. So as you stand before the mirror next time, I hope you see more than hair. I hope you see the story you have lived, the light you carry, and the way even the smallest changes can spark a feeling that stays with you all day. That is the real magic of volume, and it is already within your reach. If there is one truth to carry away from our time together, it is that the volume trick belongs to every woman over 50. No matter your hair length, texture, or style preferences, there is a way to adapt it so it feels like it was made just for you. Fine hair can gain soft, airy lift without losing its silkiness. Thick hair can be shaped so the fullness frames the face rather than weighing it down. Even curls, waves, or sleek straight styles can find their own form of volume that looks effortless and natural. This is not about learning one single method and following it without question. It is about exploring until you find the balance that feels right for you. Some days, you may prefer a gentle crown lift and a smooth finish. Other days might call for a little more texture and movement. Think of it as dressing your hair the way you dress yourself, with intention and awareness of what makes you feel alive in that moment. So I encourage you to step in front of the mirror with curiosity. Play with angles as you blow dry. Try that round brush or the root lifter you have been eyeing. Give yourself permission to experiment, knowing that every adjustment brings you closer to the version of your style that feels the most like you. If this conversation has sparked ideas or inspired you to see your hair in a new way, I would love to hear from you. Share your story in the comments or simply type the number 1 to let me know you were here. While you are with us, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the beauty and wisdom we explore together. Thank you for being part of Golden Elder Days, where beauty grows deeper with time and wisdom walks hand in hand with style. I cannot wait to see you in our next video, where we will discover even more ways to feel radiant at every age. Until then, take care and let your beauty shine. Hello there. If you enjoy gentle conversations, thoughtful reflections, and inspiring ideas about beauty, elegance, and growing into yourself after 50, then our community posts are just for you. This is where we share quiet thoughts, helpful tips, and simple reminders that you are not alone on this journey. Feel free to join the discussion, leave a comment, or simply read along and take what speaks to your heart. We're always happy to have you here.